Колбасер, колбасер, бочка пас, колбасер, бочка пас, колбасер, бочка пас, колбасер, голый, голый, колбасер, бочка пас, колбасер, бочка пас, колбасер, бочка пас, колбасер, голый, голый, колбасер, бочка пас, бочка пас, бочка пас, 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 бочка пас, бочка пас, бочка пас, 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 бочка пас, пас, бочка пас, пас, бочка пас, пас, бочка пас, 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 голый, голый, колбасер, бочка пас, колбасер, бочка пас, колбасер, бочка пас, колбасер, голый, голый, колбасер, бочка пас, колбасер, бочка пас, колбасер, бочка пас, колбасер, голый, голый, колбасер, бочка пас, колбасер, бочка пас, колбасер, бочка пас, колбасер, голый, голый, колбасер, бочка пас, колбасер, бочка пас, колбасер, бочка пас, колбасер, голый, голый, колбасер, бочка пас, колбасер, бочка пас, колбасер, бочка пас, колбасер, голый, голый, колбасер, бочка пас, колбасер, бочка пас, колбасер, бочка пас, колбасер, голый, голый, колбасер, голый. А мне мама говорила, колбасеры это сила. Чудо колотушек. Я тащусь от колотушек. Чудо, чудо колотушек. От колотушек. Чудо, чудо колотушек. Плюшек, я тащусь от колотушек. Я тащусь от колотушек. Чудо, чудо колотушек.
Белые полосы на твоем животе, как две дороги к сердцу. Вдох и молчим на большой высоте, музыки килогерцы. Ты-то я это ты, в небо летим, балдея. Две полосы на твоем животе, от скуки панацея. Белые полосы на твоем животе, как две дороги к сердцу. Вдох и молчим на большой высоте, музыки килогерцы. Ты это я уже в ноль. Мама, что скажут люди? Две полосы на твоем животе, все будет без прелюдий.
Okej. The dragon will come at the sound of the drum at a minute or two till 2. Today at a minute or 2 till 2.
Bitter, butter will surely make my batter so bitter, butter.
All my lines. I know all my lines.
Fight these battles in April with paddles and the bombs on the
Yourself. All you need is your general.
Oh no.
Well, my costume piece is here.
Alexandrovich.
Okay.
Always right about everything.
Put it in my pocket, in my back pocket, put it in my pocket, in my pocket, in my back pocket.
Everyone really tricks you. Scoundrel I am. But deep down.
Oh, stupid.
It's fine. Okay.
Alright. Practice these names, alright? Fyodorovich. Amos Fyodorovich Lyapkin Tyapkin. Amos Lyapkin Tyapkin.
You must go down there. You must go down there.
Hello? Okay.
You must go down there.
Lukich Klopov.
Downstairs to the buffet and tell them to
Lukich Klopov. Artemi Philippovich. Artemi Philippovich. Artemi Philippovich Zemlyanika. I can't believe I have to say these ridiculous names. The Government Inspector by Nikolai Gogol. Act 1. Yes, here we are in the parlor of the mayor's home. It's a large, poorly lit room, over-decorated with gaudy furniture and far too many pieces that need dusting. The administrators of the town pace about anxiously while waiting for the mayor to arrive. There's the charity commissioner, Artemi Philippovich Zemlyanika. The judge, Amos Fyodorovich Lyapkin Tyapkin, and the school superintendent, Luka Lukich Klopov. They're all horribly overdressed and full of self-importance. The mayor walks into the room and immediately everyone seizes upon him for information.
Why, thank you all for coming on such short notice. I have a very disturbing piece of news. An inspector general is coming.
A general inspector?
A general inspector!
A general inspector!
Yes, an inspector general from Petersburg. But not only that, he's incognito with secret instructions too.
Well, I declare!
We've been very lucky thus far, though now it seems our time has come.
I had a horrible foreboding last night. All night I dreamt of a pair of rats, fat and monstrous like you wouldn't believe. They came sniffing about and then they vanished. I have here a letter from Andrey Ivanovich. You know Andrey?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes.
Yes, well, the letter reads, "My dear friend, comrade and supporter, blah, 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 and so and such says hello." What I mean to say, this is it. A government inspector is on the way to inspect your town from top to bottom, to seek out corruption and snuff it out, to grab it by the... Oh, dear, such a way with words. Be careful that your dealings are not discovered, as you are one to blah, 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 and so says hello. Be careful, as this inspector general is coming, and is coming incognito. He will also be in disguise, apparently. Be on your guard, dear comrade. Oh, what a fine mess we have here.
A fine mess indeed. Why, what business has this inspector with us?
Oh, I suppose it was inevitable. They've pried into every other town, and now they've finally set their sights on us.
Oh, conspiracy. A shrewd move on their part. Russia may be on the verge of war, and it very well may be they are searching out defectors throughout the countryside.
Well, we should all consider ourselves forewarned and act accordingly. I shall look to my affairs, and I expect you all to do the same. Artemi Philippovich, if I were you, I wouldn't waste a second. Without a doubt, your hospital shall be the first thing on the inspector's list. The stacks of bedpans are so high they can be seen through every window, and the stench could clear a field. Look to it.
I will. Or someone will, at least.
And I suggest you start getting close enough to your patients to tell whether or not they have died in the last year.
Yes.
Perhaps tennis could wait until late afternoon.
Oh, but all my friends have gone by then. Very well.
Damos Fyodorovich, look to your courthouse building. There are petitioners who have been waiting there to file said petitions since God only knows
Yes,
when.
I shall see to it.
And let's not have the courthouse staff sleeping in all the corners of our Hall of Justice. It's not a camp.
That's only fair.
And you, yourself, should try not to reek of vodka when the Inspector General arrives. That's all well and fine when you're condemning a man to death, but with our inconspicuous general about, you'd at least appear to have a bit of discipline within you.
I shall do my best.
Meanwhile, I shall ponder what of my very own affairs might be misconstrued by the condemning eyes of our Inspector General incognito.
And what shall Luka Lukich do, Anton Antonovich?
Well, for starters, being the school superintendent, you could have all the instructors instruct the children.
Yes, that's quite good.
Indeed. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride. Let the children's laughter remind us of what we used to be. But above all, dear friends, not a single one of you shall accept a bribe until this Inspector General is out of our hair.
Oh, but what about...
No.
No, even if it's, you know...
Oh, but surely you can accept them to the hospital. Oh,
No bribes. One mistake, and we shall all be a regretful lot indeed. When this inspector arrives, we shall be above reproach.
Just then, the postmaster, Ivana Kuzmich-Spyokin, runs into the room, panting and wild-eyed. Oh, even more wild-eyed than usual.
Tell me, comrades, who's coming? What sort of official is on the way?
You not heard?
I heard something from Dobchinski just now over at the post office.
Well, what do you think about it?
What do I think about it?
Yes, what do you think about it, Ivana Kuzmich?
Oh, what do you think about it, Anton Antonovich?
Well, I'm no coward, but I'm just a little bit uncomfortable. The shopkeepers and townspeople bother me. It seems I'm unpopular with them. God only knows why. If ever I've blackmailed anybody, I've done it with the purest intentions. I even think there's to be some sort of complaint drawn up against me. Can you believe it? Why should we even have an Inspector General at all? Look here, Ivana Kuzmich. Don't you think you could just inspect every letter that comes in and out of your office to see if it has anything to do with me? If it does, you could just take it away. If not, you could seal it up or even deliver it opened.
Oh, I know that game. I do it from pure curiosity, not as a precaution. I'm keen on knowing what's going on in the world, and they're very interesting to read, I can tell you. Ooh, now and then you come across a love letter with bits of beautiful language and ravishing poetry. Much better than the Moscow News.
Well, tell me then, have you read anything about an official from Petersburg?
No, not about anyone from Petersburg.
But oblige me, Ivana Kuzmich, if you ever chance upon a complaint or a denouncement, hold it back without the slightest compunction.
Oh, I will, with the greatest pleasure.
You had better mind yourself. You'll get into trouble over that sometime or other.
Oh, trouble, God forbid.
It was nothing. It would be different if it concerned you or the public, but it's a private matter, I assure you.
Some mischief is brewing, I know. But that aside, Anton Antonovich, I have a certain proposal for you.
I don't care for your proposals now. I have this damned incognito on the brain. I feel as though at any moment he's likely to burst through those doors and say, "You won't believe it!"
An unexpected piece of news!
That would be Dobchinski and Dobchinski, respectively.
What is it?
Go on, please.
What is it? Something quite unforeseen. As I walked into
Yes, Fyodor Ivanovich, as I walked into the inn.
All right, Pyotr Ivanovich, let me tell it.
No, allow me. You haven't got the knack.
Oh, but you'll get all mixed up and forget it all.
No, I won't. Now, don't interrupt.
Stay on, for God's sake. My heart is in my throat.
All eyes on Dobchinski and Dobchinski.
Well, if I may tell it quite plainly, after taking leave of you, Anton Antonovich, and the news presenting your letter... Not now, Dobchinski! See, as I entered the inn, I saw a young man.
A rather good appearance and dressed in ordinary clothes.
Yes, of rather good appearance and dressed
incognito.
There was something out of the ordinary about his face, so I said to Dobchinski, "There's something out of the ordinary about his face." And so Dobchinski beckoned to the landlord of Lust. You know him. He wears a hump.
No. He doesn't wear a hump. He has a hump.
That's what I said. "Who is that young man with that deep look about him?" I asked. That young man is an official on his way from St. Petersburg. His name is Ivan Alexandrovich Khlestakov, and he's going to the government of Saratov. He does behave rather strangely. It's his second week and he's never left the house. He won't pay a penny and takes everything on credit. A light dawned on me from above, and I said to Dobchinski, "Well, why does he hang about here if he's going to Saratov?" And that's when I knew!
I knew then that he was our incognito!
Great God, what are you saying?
It can't be.
Oh, but it can be, and it is. Who else could it be?
Oh, it's him! He's so alert, and he scrutinizes everything. He saw that Dobchinski and I were eating salmon, and stared at our plates so hard that I was frightened to death.
Lord have mercy on us sinners. What room is he staying in?
In room number 5, second floor.
Well, how long has he been there?
About a fortnight or more.
Great God, a fortnight? God only knows what he's already seen.
What do you think, Anton Antonovich? Had we better go to the inn and see about this Inspector Incognito?
I've wormed my way out of trickier situations. You say he's a young man? Yes, about 23 or 24 at the most. You can mold the young. It's the hardened old devils I hate to deal with. You, comrades, had better get your departments in order while I go to see about this incognito. Mishka! Where is that servant of mine? Have Mishka fetch the superintendent. His presence is desperately needed.
I must tell you, I happened to see the superintendent on my way here, and he was already quite drunk.
Oh, well then have Mishka get the constables together, have each of them take hold of a broom, and sweep clean the road that leads to the inn. Sweep it clean, do you hear? Be off!
Everyone but for the mayor and Dobchinski head for the door, only to have their way blocked by Anna Andreyevna and Marya Antonovna.
Anton! Oh, Anton, have you met the inspector yet? What's he like? Does he have a mustache?
Now, in a bit. I'm off and I can't get into that now. This will have to wait.
And just like that, he's off. Trailed by Dobchinski, Luka Lukich Klopov, Artemi Philippovich, almost Fyodorovich, Lyapkin, Shnyapkin. You get it.
Oh, it's all your fault. We would have been here sooner if it were not for your primping and preening. I see the way you look at the postmaster, but let me tell you, my dear, she isn't looking at you. Beauty trickles down eventually, just give it time.
Oh, Mama, it's all right. I simply wanted to look my best. I wonder what this inspector looks like. I hope he has a mustache. Well, I suppose we'll know soon enough.
Soon enough. That might as well be a year. You with your head in the clouds and your face in the mirror. What will I do with you? I suppose he has a fine mustache.
Act 2. Osip is sprawled out onto the bed. It's a small room with too much luggage strewn about and a few empty bottles as well.
Oh, I'm so hungry. My stomach is howling. We shall never get home at this rate. What are we to do, I'd like to know? There's 2 months gone since we left Petersburg. We had plenty of money, but he squandered it on card games. So now, here we are, wasting away, unable to afford a meal or even this room. Why should I have the luck of looking after the world's worst card player. Not only that, he's just an ordinary copying clerk, but he spent his money like an emperor. It's the theater, the brothels, the fancy meals, the dancing dogs, for heaven's sakes. What's to be done with him? The old man sends him money, plenty of it, and what for? But he goes and throws it away on games of chance. What I wouldn't give for a chance at some cabbage soup.
Khlestakov barrels through the door.
You must go down there.
Where?
Downstairs to the buffet and tell them that my master demands something to eat.
No.
Have you forgotten who you work for?
I have not. I work for your father. Anyway, the landlord says he'll let you have nothing more.
He wouldn't dare deny me.
You haven't paid your bill in over 3 weeks. He says you're a scoundrel, a thief, and an all-around devil.
I see it pains you to say so.
He says he'll have you put in jail where you belong.
Now, stop it, you fool. Do go and speak to him, the ill-mannered brute.
I'll call him for you to speak with.
Do I want with him? You go and talk to him yourself.
But, sir...
All right, call him already.
Osip reluctantly goes.
Oh, how infernally hungry I am. If only I hadn't let that soldier trounce me in cards.
Osip comes back into the room, followed by the waiter.
The landlord wants to know what you want.
How are you, my friend?
Pretty well, thank you.
And how are you getting on in the inn? Business going on nicely?
Yes, thank you. Very nicely.
Plenty of visitors?
Yes, indeed.
Well, look here, my friend. There seems to have been a delay with my dinner. Would you be a chap and have it brought up straight away? You see, I have an engagement after dinner.
But the landlord said you're not to have nothing more. He stopped just short of calling the police.
Does he expect me to starve?
I believe so, sir.
Well, tell him I simply must eat. This is cruel and unusual. The money is not an issue.
And out goes Osip and the waiter.
The money is definitely an issue.
And they're back!
They're bringing dinner.
This is the last time the landlord will send you dinner.
I spit on your landlord now. What have you got there?
Soup and roast beef.
What, only 2 dishes? I thought I was getting a proper meal.
No, the landlord said it's a good deal too much.
But isn't there any sauce?
No, there isn't any. Well, I mean to say that there isn't any for you.
You beastly pig! Am I not human? Have I no eyes? If you prick me, will I not bleed? If you tickle me, will I
won't
not...
be tickling you. This is all you get.
Look at this soup. It's closer to tea than soup. Oh, it's without any taste at all. I will not be treated as a second-class citizen. Take it away and bring what the diners are having downstairs.
Very well, sir. I'll tell the landlord you won't be having anything after all.
Well, let's not be rash. Oh, my God. I've never tasted anything quite like it. Oh, look, I found a piece of chicken floating about. Poor chicken. Bring me the roast beef. There's a little soup left, I'll soup. Check it yourself. What? Is this what you call roast beef? Why is it that color?
What is it then?
Rogues and scoundrel. It's as tough as the bark of a tree. Is there nothing more?
No, sir, there is not. Bon appetit.
No dessert.
And out goes the waiter.
Well, don't just sit there, Osip. Would you like me to break my teeth on this stick? Go down there and steal a piece of salmon if you must.
And out goes Osip.
Damn that landlord.
Osip rushes back into the room.
The town mayor is here for some reason or another. He has announced himself and is asking for you.
I suppose I'm about to be sent away. No, I won't go. You'd like to see me carted off to Siberia, wouldn't
The mayor walks into the room with his head held high, followed by Babchinski and Dobchinski, who are peeking into the room as if invisible.
I hope you are well, sir.
My respects to you, sir.
Excuse my intruding.
Pray don't mention it.
It is my duty as chief magistrate of this town to take all due measures to prevent travelers and persons of interest from suffering any inconvenience.
I am going to pay. I am simply waiting funds from home. There is no reason to be alarmed. Meanwhile, this landlord starves me, and when he does feed me, it's beef that's as hard as a Dutchman's club. I assure you it's not my fault, really. I always get very good beef from the market. I suggest you come along with me. No, that I will not. Oh, my God, how angry he is. Those vile merchants must have told him everything. Damn you and your office. I'll not go with you. I'll go straight to the minister. Who do you think you are? Oh, pity me, sir. I am no one. Don't ruin me. I have a wife and many, many young mouths to feed. What has that got to do with me? Why am I to go to jail because you've got a wife and the whole litter? Forgive me. The salary I get is not enough for tea and sugar, and if I have taken any bribes at all, they were very little ones. Wee little ones. My enemies are out to ruin me with their rumors. Yes, but I've nothing to do with them. Why do you complain of your enemies to me? I shall pay my bill. Just presently I happen to be out of cash, is all. Very well. We could do things your way. If you are really in want of funds or anything else, I am ready to oblige you at once. It is
my duty to assist travelers.
In that case, lend me 200 rubles so that I may pay my bill.
Oh, that's exactly 200 rubles. Don't trouble to count them.
At this point, Dobchinski and Dobchinski are leaning so far as they peek into the room that they've... Oh, God, they've both fallen out, and upon getting up, they've crashed into one another headlong.
Are your friends all right?
I ask myself that very question daily.
I'm very much obliged to you. I'll return it to you as soon as I get home. I see you are a gentleman after all. I'm relieved that all is well. Osip, call the waiter here. Well, why are you peeping in the door there? Take a seat.
Oh, no, we can very well stand.
Oh, well, stand if you must, but I want you to feel completely at home here. I'm very glad for your kind assistance. Without it, I might have had to stay here for quite a while.
My, how he carries on with this incognito business. I shall play along just as well as he. It's a good thing we found you as we were walking about the town to make sure that every visitor should feel welcome.
I thank you. I feel quite welcome.
May I venture to ask what locality you are pleased to be going?
I'm going to my own estate in the Saratov government.
Go to the Saratov government, and he doesn't even blush. You are traveling for your own amusement, I suppose.
Oh, my father wants me. The old man's angry because up till now I've made no advance with the service in Petersburg. He thinks at the moment you get there, they stick the Vladimir in your buttonhole. Well, no, indeed. And I'd like to send him to knock about a chancellor's office for a while.
May I ask, are you going there for a long time?
Really, I don't know. You see, my father is a stupid old man. I shall tell him straight out, do as you please, but I can't live away from Petersburg. Why should I be condemned to rot away among rustics? That's not my ideal. My soul craves for civilization.
My, how he does weave a tall tale. But the bait is set, and he'll walk himself into the trap soon enough. Rather damp this room, isn't it?
Yes, it's a dirty hole. And the insects, well, I've never seen the like of them. They bite like dogs.
May I venture to ask you, but no, I am unworthy.
What do you mean?
No, I am unworthy of the honor.
But what do you mean?
Well, if I might be so bold, I have a charming little room for you back at home, light and comfortable. But no, I feel it is too great an honor. Don't be offended. I only meant well by the offer.
On the contrary, I accept it with pleasure. I should be much more comfortable in a private residence than in this pothouse.
I am only too delighted. How glad my wife will be. It's a little habit I have. I always was hospitable from childhood, especially when the guest is as distinguished and enlightened such as yourself. I mean no flattery, but speak from the bottom of my heart.
I'm greatly obliged to you. I myself hate two-faced people. I'm very much struck with your sincerity and generosity.
Osip and the waiter walk back into the room.
Yes, sir.
Oh, bring me the bill.
I have already. You know very well, sir, how much.
Feed me slop and call me sir, will you? Bring me the bill so that I may shove it
Thank you. Tell your landlord not to worry. I will have the money sent to him immediately.
Yes, of course, that will be best.
Khlestakov pockets the money and watches the waiter leave.
Wouldn't you now like to inspect a few of the institutions of our town, say, the town hospital and so on?
But what is there to see?
Well, you will see with how we manage matters, how very orderly and functional our township is.
Oh, with the greatest pleasure.
And then if you wish, we can go on from there to the district high school, and you will see with what discipline our administration is instructed.
Oh, by all means.
And afterwards, if you'd like, you could visit the prison and the town jail, and you'll see how carefully our prisoners are kept.
I don't need to see the jail, thank you very much.
As you please. But do you propose to ride in your own carriage or go with me?
Well,
I prefer to go with you. Oh, very well.
After snatching the bill off the table, the mayor goes quietly to Dobchinski and Dobchinski. He is writing all the while.
Listen, will you two run as fast as you can and take these 2 notes, one to Zemlyanika at the hospital and the other to my wife. We'll see how this business goes after lunch. We have a bottle of Russian Madeira. Not much to look at, but it'll roll an elephant under the table. Until then, we must all be on guard. Go now.
Dobchinski and Dobchinski leave.
Shall we? Here, my good fellow, take everything over to my house, the mayor's. My servant Mishka will escort you. After you, sir.
Act 3. Anna and Marya pace about in anticipation of the mayor's return.
We've been waiting here for a whole hour, and it's all due to your stupid vanity. How vexatious you are.
They'll be here soon, Mama. I think I hear someone now.
Don't be ridiculous. That's the other thing with you. Your imagination always running you off in the wrong direction. My ears are just as good as yours.
Dobchinski and Dobchinski fly through the door with bandages on their nose.
What news? I thought I heard you coming.
Oh, I vow, my dear lady, we ran as fast as we could to speak with you.
Good afternoon, Dobchinski and Dobchinski.
Okay, so tell us now. What's going on?
Anton Antonovich has sent you this note.
Oh, is that the right one?
Yes, it's the right one. Let me tell it.
Yes, tell it. Tell all you know of our inspector. Is he a general?
No, maybe more than a general. He has such culture and refinement.
Good. Now tell me all about him.
Well, at first he received Anton Antonovich rather roughly.
Oh, I should say so.
He said he wouldn't come to the mayor's house nor go to jail for him. But afterwards, he soon found out Anton Antonovich's innocence, and then, thank heaven, all went well. They have now gone to inspect the hospital. I confess, though, Anton Antonovich thought a secret complaint might be lodged against him. I myself was also a little alarmed.
Myself as well.
Oh, why should you be afraid? You're not an official, you know.
Yes, but you see, he's a very powerful man.
He could ruin anyone he so chooses.
Well. All this is trifling. Now tell me, what is he like personally? Is he dark or fair?
Well, neither, but I cannot tell what. He has the eyes of a wild man. He makes me quite nervous.
Oh, but, my dear Dobchinski, what have 2 portions of pickles and half a portion of caviar to do with anything?
Anton Antonovich had written it on a piece of paper that had been used before. It's a bill of some sort.
See, but relying on the mercy of God, all will come to a happy conclusion. Get her room ready, the one with the gold wallpaper for our distinguished guest. We shall lunch at the hospital with Artemi Philippovich. Tell Abdulin to send over some of his best wine. I kiss your hand, dear, and remain that. There's not a moment to lose. Here, take this note. Give it to Mishka. She must fetch the best wine available and then return here directly to get a room ready for our visitor.
Well, we'll hurry up now, Andreyevna.
Bye then.
Yes, go. Now, Mashenka. He's a sophisticate from town, though Lord forbid he should laugh at us. You'd better get ready and put you on the blue dress with the little flouncers.
Oh, the blue dress. Oh, I don't like it at all. No, I'd much rather wear my light pink gown.
Your light pink gown. Really, you only say that for the sake of contradiction. You will look much better in blue, because I wish to wear my favorite shade, champagne.
Oh, Mama, that doesn't suit you at all.
What rubbish you talk, all but divine. It's a shame you're too vain to say so. But come along, we must make ready.
Leave the parlor. Just then the front door swings open. It's Khlestakov, followed by the mayor, Antonovich, the charity commissioner, Artemi Philippovich, the judge, Amos Fyodorovich, Tyapkin, director of schools, Luka Lukich, and scurrying behind are, you guessed it, Dobchinski and Dobchinski.
Splendid institutions! I'm charmed with the way you have of showing visitors all that's to be seen in your town. In other places, they showed me nothing.
Well, in other towns, I venture to suggest, the authorities and the officials care most for their own advancement. But here, one may say that duty is all.
That was an excellent lunch. I'm quite stuffed. Do you feast like that every day?
Oh, no, it was in honor of our esteemed guest.
What is one to live for if not to pluck the flowers of pleasure? What was it?
Monkfish, sir.
Oh, it was exquisite. Did we dine in the infirmary? Did all the patients get well? I only saw beds.
Oh, 10 or so remain, not more. The rest have all recovered. The place is so well organized. There is such good discipline. It may seem incredible to you, perhaps, but ever since I've undertaken the management of it, they all get well like flies. It's not done so much by doctoring as it is by honesty and regularity.
It is such an honor to manage this humble town. It brings great worry, yes, but the rewards of seeing your people thrive is a gift unto itself. Sure, a little recognition wouldn't hurt from time to time, but it's the work that makes this life worth living.
Oh, we all know your worth.
That's lovely. I crave honor as you do, be it through working with my hands or with the heart. I write poetry, you know, beautiful prose just pours out of me at times. Does anyone here play poker?
Poker? Oh, we've no poker clubs here. I find it immoral and detest it myself. Why, I wouldn't know what to do with a straight flush or royal flush or four of a kind, and then you've got your straight and your flush and your three of a kind. But why, I'd be totally lost, I tell you.
Lies you tell, Anton Antonovich! You've got 100 rubles of mine for it!
No, I find it better to employ my time for the Empire's benefit.
Well, I don't quite agree with you. It's all in good fun, as long as you stop after you've lost 3/4 of your money. I don't see the harm in it from time to time.
In walks Andreyevna and Marya Antonovna.
Oh, may I take the liberty of introducing my family, my wife and my daughter?
How fortunate I am, madame, in being permitted the pleasure of meeting you.
It is far more agreeable for us to meet the acquaintance of so distinguished a personage.
Pardon me, Sudarnya, but it's quite the contrary. The pleasure is all mine.
No, sir, you do flatter.
To stand near you is happiness.
Pardon me, but I cannot take that to be meant as sincerely. You have found the journey quite disagreeable, I should think, after life in the capital.
Oh, excessively so. But things have turned around quite nicely. There is such beauty outside of the capital.
Oh, really? It must have been quite awful for you.
Oh, but I find it quite the reverse, though, madam, at the present moment.
Oh, how can you say so, sir? You do me much honor I do not deserve it.
Why not? Indeed, Sudarnya, you do deserve it.
Oh, I live only in the country.
Oh, but the country all the same has its charming hills and valleys. To be sure, no one can compare it to Petersburg. Oh, Petersburg, what a life it is. Maybe you are tempted to think I am merely a copying clerk, but no, I am on friendly footing with the chief of our department. I am constantly sought after on most important affairs. I am constantly sought after on all sorts of affairs. Why, sit down, man.
I know my rank. We can very well stand.
I entreat you to sit. All of you.
They all take a seat.
I do not care to stand. On my dignity. I don't like ceremony at all. I rather like going about unobserved. Inevitably, however, there goes Ivan Alexandrovich! Oh, once I was taken for the commander-in-chief. How many salutes can one bear?
You don't say.
I know nearly all the pretty actresses and compose all sorts of vaudevilles. I frequently see literary men. I'm on a very friendly footing with Pushkin. Often say to him, "Oh, how do you do, Pushkin, my boy?" "Oh, so, old man," he'd reply. "Things might be better." Oh, regular old original is Pushkin.
So you write, too. How delightful it must be to be an author.
Yes, and I write for the papers, too. Besides that, there's a good many of my productions, such as Figaro's Wedding, Robert the Devil, Norma. I really forget some of their names. It all happened by chance. I didn't intend to write, but a theater manager said, "Do turn me something off, old man." I consider a bit. "You may as well, brother." And so I knocked it off in one evening. Oh, I dare say I have a marvelous flow of ideas, you know. All that came out under Baron Brambius and the Frigate of Hope. And the Moscow Telegraph. All that was my composition.
Is it possible? And so you really were Brambius?
Yes, of course. And I correct all their verses. Smearden gives me 40,000 for that.
And I dare say Yuri Miloslavsky was composed by you.
Yes, that's by me.
I thought so at once.
But, Mama, it says on the title page that Zagoskin was the author.
There, of course. I knew you'd want to argue.
Yes, so it is. That's true. That particular work was by Zagoskin. But there's another Yuri Miloslavsky, and that was by me.
To be sure, I read yours. How beautifully it is written.
Yes, I must admit, I live by my pen. My house is the finest in Petersburg. Do me the favor, any of you, if you are ever in Petersburg, to pay me a visit, I beg of you. I give grand balls, too, you know.
I can only imagine the magnificence of your balls.
Oh, it's nothing special. I go to a ball every day. We have a poker club there, too. The foreign minister, the French ambassador, the German ambassador, and myself. We regularly kill ourselves over cards. It's always nobody clamoring for my attention. They're always heaping some new honor upon me. That's how I ended up here. Sure, there were many who wanted the position, but it was clear that I was the only one who could handle the pressure of it all. It requires nearly superhuman strength. I am amazed myself. I'm quite tired just thinking of it.
Your Excellency, wouldn't you like to rest? We have a lovely room made out for you. Wouldn't you like to lay down?
Lay down? Rest? Why, I've only just gotten started. What was that fish again? Divine. Absolutely divine. On second thought, maybe I will lay down for just a bit and rest the old eyelids.
Stumbles off through the side door, followed by Anton Antonovich.
Now there is a man for you! What do you think is his rank? Never have I been in the company of such nobility.
I should think he's almost a general.
Oh, surely he's more than a general. Or if he is a general, then he must be the very generalissimo himself. Did you hear how he bullies the Council of State? Let's go quick and tell the postmaster. Good afternoon, Andreyevna.
Yes, let us go.
Luka Lukich, I think we'd better go. Surely the inspector will be writing of us when he wakes. I should think we would fare better in uniform when he next sees us.
Yes, I agree, Artemi Philippovich. Goodbye, Sudaranya.
I shall see you later, Sudaranya.
Yes, goodbye, Sudaranya.
Anna and Marya are alone in the parlor.
Ooh, what a charming young man.
How delightful he is!
I'm passionately fond of young men like that. Of course, they are typically fond of me as well. I noticed he kept looking at me.
No, Mama, dear, he was looking at me.
Don't be ridiculous.
No, but, Mama, he was, really.
There you are, arguing again. Why would he be looking at you when I'm standing right here?
But, Mama, dear, he gazed at me the whole time. And when he began to talk about literature, he gazed at me. And when he began to describe how he plays with the ambassadors, he gazed at me. And when he tried to describe his ball...
Well, maybe he did it once or twice out of obligation.
The mayor enters on tiptoe.
Shush. Shush.
What?
Oh, I shouldn't have let him get so drunk. Suppose that all he spoke of was true. And why shouldn't it be? When a man's tipsy, he lets everything out. He plays with ministers and goes to court. Upon my word, the more I hear it, the devil knows what to think of it. I feel as if though my head were headed for a guillotine.
I don't feel the slightest bit nervous. All I see is an educated, sophisticated, and cultured young man. I hadn't given a thought to his rank.
That's just like you women. You may be left off with a flogging, but your husband will never more be heard of. You treat this gentleman, my dear, as familiarly as if you were another Dobchinski.
I recommend you not trouble about that. We shall see what we shall
talking
see.
to you. What a state of things this is. My nerves are undone.
He steps over to the door and whisper yells for Mishka.
Mishka! Mishka! I need 2 police officers to guard the door. No one must enter while I am away. Absolutely no one. I don't want those merchants within 20 yards of this door with their foolish petitions. Go! Go now!
In runs Osip, who is immediately surrounded.
My friend.
Is he still unaware?
I'm not sure how to answer that, sir.
Tell me, what's your name?
Osip, ma'am.
There, that's enough out of you. That'll do for you. Well, my friend, have you been well looked after?
Oh, yes, sir. Thank you kindly.
Tell me now, a good many counts and princes visit your master, don't they?
What shall I say now? I suppose if I say yes, they'll feed me even better than they have so far. Why, yes, a lot of counts come and see him.
Oh, my dear Osip, how handsome your master is.
But tell me, Osip, how does he go about
Now,
his
stop it, please. You only hinder me with such foolish remarks. Well, now, my friend, I wish...
Oh, the usual rank.
Keep on with these senseless questions, and you don't say a single word to the point. Now, my man, what is your master like, eh? Is he strict? Is he given to scolding you, or not?
Yes, he likes orderliness. He must have everything exact.
Well, I like your face, my friend. I'm sure you're one of the right sort. Now,
Listen
what
to
does...
me, Osip. What does your master wear in town? Does he go about in uniform or something more casual?
Enough! This is serious business. This is a matter of life or death. Yes, I'm very pleased with you, my man. An extra cup of tea is never a bad thing on a journey, and it's quite cold, so here's a couple silver rubles for tea.
Oh, thank you kindly, sir. It's a great help to a poor man.
Oh, certainly. And I'm very glad to help you. Now, my friend...
Listen, Osip, what colored eyes does your master like best? Does he like eyes like mine? I have green eyes.
What a charming little nose your master has.
Have done. Let me speak. Just tell me, please, my good fellow, what does your baron pay most attention to? I mean, what pleases him most on his journeys?
Oh, he's fond of finding out all about everything. Most of all, he likes being well received, being well entertained.
Well entertained?
Yes, and well, as for me, he will not abide any ill treatment from our host. He's been so good as to demand that I am always well fed and supplied with the finest wines, so that my duties may be performed with more joy and ease. He is very gracious and loves to see our host exhibit greater generosity towards me.
Very good. You speak to the point. What I gave you was for tea, but here's something extra for biscuits.
You're too liberal, your high nobility. I'll make sure to spend it drinking all in your honor's health.
Come to me, Osip, and you'll get something more.
Osip, kiss your master for me.
Khlestakov is heard to cough slightly in the next room.
Shush. Good God, don't make a noise and get out of the room. We've had quite enough of you.
Let us go, Pashenka. I'll tell you something in private.
Mayor turns to continue conversing with Osip, who has slipped out unnoticed.
Where the devil has he gone off to?
Antonovich wanders off looking for Osip. We begin Act 4, entering the empty parlor of the mayor's estate cautiously on tiptoe. Amos Fyodorovich, the judge. The cherry commissioner, Artemi Philippovich. The postmaster, Luka Lukich, director of schools, Babchinski and Dobchinski, all in full gala uniform. Amos Fyodorovich begins arranging them all in a semicircle.
God's sake now, form your circle quicker! Good heavens, he goes to court, you know, and bullies the Council of State! Draw up in military order!
Babchinski and Dobchinski run on tiptoe to their assigned position.
It's as you please, Amos Fyodorovich, but we certainly...
What attempt?
The attempt.
What attempt?
You know what I mean. Just try a little palm oil.
Palm oil?
Yes! Try some old-fashioned palm oil bribery.
It's risky. He'll storm at it. He's a state functionary, you know. Perhaps it had better take the form of a testimonial from the nobility and from the gentry, some sort of souvenir.
Or perhaps say there's been some money sent by post and, oh, we don't know who it's for.
Mind he doesn't send you by post somewhere further off than you care for. I tell you, these little matters are not so managed in a well-ordered state. Why is a whole squadron of us here? We ought to approach him one by one and do what is needful in a private interview so that nobody knows anything about it. That's how things are done in a well-managed community. So, Amos Fyodorovich, you ought to begin first.
Oh, much better. You, the illustrious visitor, broke bread in your hospital, or Luka Lukich had better as the enlightener of youth.
I can't! I confess it, I've been so brought up that if anyone a single degree above me in rank addresses me, I just lose my head. My tongue as if it's tied in knots. You heard me earlier? I simply cannot address him.
Then there is no one but you, Amos Fyodorovich. It must be you.
What nonsense!
Please, though.
Please.
Maybe.
Please.
Have you considered
Enough.
Amos Fyodorovich?
Please.
Just then, footsteps are heard from Khlestakov's room. All rush headlong to the door, jostling and struggling to get out. They squeeze and crush one another a good deal, and half-suppressed exclamations are heard.
Ow! Ow!
Ow!
Ow!
Ow! All stop struggling for a moment and stare at the postmaster in slight confusion. A yawn is heard from Khlestakov's room, and they all finally scramble their way out the door, leaving the room empty. Shortly thereafter, Khlestakov stumbles into the parlor.
Oh, I've had a proper snooze, it seems. That featherbed was like sleeping on feathers, and those sheets. Oh, but my aching head. It seems I had too much to drink. Monkfish. I could waste quite a bit of time here in the bosom of luxury. I think this life suits me quite well.
The judge enters petrified and shaking when he sees Khlestakov.
Oh! I have the honor to present myself, county court judge of this district and college assessor Lyapkin Tyapkin.
Pray take a seat. So you are the judge here.
Yes, I was elected. By election. As elected by.
And you find it profitable, I dare say, being a judge.
This money is regularly burning a hole through my hand. I feel my poor throat closing up.
What's that? What have you got in your hand there?
Nothing, sir.
Nothing? How's that? Why, I see there's some money dropped.
Impossible, sir. Oh, Lord, I'm done for. It's off to Siberia with me.
Yes, so it is. It's money. I say, send me this.
If you wish, sir, with the greatest pleasure. Now, courage, courage, aid me, most holy mother.
I've spent all my money on the road, you know, over one thing and another. I'll return it to you as soon as I get home.
Don't mention it. It's quite unnecessary. The honor of lending it to you is enough. Now, I will not venture to disturb you further with my presence. I look forward to your orders for our local courts.
Orders?
Will you not have orders of correction for our courts?
Why should I?
Thank the good Lord!
The judge is an excellent fellow.
In runs the postmaster, breathing heavily.
I have the honor to present myself, Postmaster and Court Counselor Spielkin.
I'm very fond of agreeable company. Take a seat. And so, you live here always?
Yes, sir, just so.
Well, I like this little town of yours. It's not the capital, but it is quite pleasant.
Oh, yes, sir.
Sure, the streets aren't filled with interesting people, but I find it pleasurable in its simplicity. The people make up for their dullness in kindness and generosity, I find.
Exactly so, sir.
Being that I am so cultured and refined and educated and dashing in my good looks, I suppose I stand out as rather eccentric.
Precisely, sir.
I say, would you be so good as to lend me 300 rubles? I seem to have spent my very last coin on my extended travels. Would you be so kind and generous?
Of course, yes. I'd be happy to be of service to you.
Thanks very much. You see, I hate to budget while traveling. Why should I? Ain't I right?
Oh, quite right, sir. Forgive me, I will not venture to disturb you any further with my presence. Oh, have you any observation to make with reference to the postal administration?
No, nothing.
The postmaster bows and exits.
Postmaster, it seems, is also a very good fellow. At least he's ready to oblige. That's the sort of people I like.
Luka Lukich, director of schools, enters as if being pushed in from behind.
I have the honor to present myself, headmaster of schools and honorary counselor Kolpov.
How do you do? Take a seat. Take a seat. Cigar.
Oh, goodness. A decision to take or not to take.
Take it. It's of an excellent brand, to be sure. It's not a Petersburg cigar, but it is quite fine. Here's a match to light up. There, don't put that in your mouth.
Devil taking all my cursed nervousness spoils everything.
I see you're not very fond of cigars, but I admit they're one of my weaknesses. Not my only one, though. I'm rather susceptible to the charms of the fair sex, too. What's your vice?
Oh, I daren't give an opinion.
No, don't get out of it that way. I particularly want to know your taste.
I will venture to say, then I do not know what I'm saying. My head's in a whirl.
So you won't commit yourself. I'm sure you're fond of the secret affair here or there. Confess it now, you are. Oh, you're blushing. Look. Why won't you speak?
I'm too shy. You know, oh, my damned tongue!
Too shy. Yes, I'm intimidating it. Luring.
Surely, sir.
Now, a very funny thing has happened to me. I've spent all I possess in coming here. You couldn't lend me 300 rubles, could you?
Yes, oh, here.
Oh, I am deeply indebted to you.
I will not venture to disturb you further with my presence.
Goodbye, then.
There! Thank heavens! Perhaps he won't visit the schools now!
Luka Lukich exits. Enter the charity commissioner, Artemi Philippovich. He draws himself up, like the others, in a military attitude of respectful attention.
I have the honor to present myself, charity commissioner and court counselor Zemlinika.
Won't you take a seat?
I had the honor of receiving and personally conducting you through the charitable institutions committed to my charge.
So you did. I remember you gave me an excellent luncheon.
I am glad to labor in the service of the people.
It's my weakness. I confess it. I am fond of good cookery. I like you. You lean forward like someone with quite a bit to say.
Well, if I may, Everything here is in the greatest state of neglect, save for my duties, of course. The postmaster here does absolutely nothing but delights in holding back posts for her enjoyment. The judge, too, does nothing but hunt hares and keeps his dogs in the county court buildings. As for his general conduct, though he's my friend and comrade, yada yada yada, well, his conduct is most deplorable also. There's a certain proprietor here, Dobchinski by name, whose wife and the judge are having a tete-a-tete. I am ready to swear it, and the children down to the youngest little girl have a remarkable likeness to the judge.
Well, I declare, I never should have thought it.
Then there's the director of schools. I can't think how the government could have appointed him. He is worse than a Jacobin, and he poisons the mind of the young generations with revolutionary doctrines that simply baffle description. Hadn't I better put this down on paper?
Do, by all means. I shall be glad to have it. I like to read something amusing when I'm bored. By the way, what is your name? I keep forgetting.
Zemlinika. As I will not venture to disturb you further with my presence or take up the time which you consecrate to the performance of your duties.
Oh, I beg your pardon, Samly Kneeclaps, but an odd thing has happened to me. I've cleared myself out in coming here. You haven't got 400 rubles to lend me.
Yes, I have.
Well, that is lucky. I thank you most sincerely.
The charity commissioner leaves. Enter Babchinski and Dobchinski.
I have the honor to present myself, Pyotr, son of Ivan Dobchinski, citizen of this town.
I am Pyotr, son of Ivan Dobchinski, landed proprietor.
Oh, your nose. Does that hurt?
Please don't trouble about it. It's healed now. It's quite healed up.
All right, that's quite all right. I'm glad to hear it. You haven't got any money about you.
Money? What for?
Lend me 1,000.
Good God, I haven't got such a sum. Haven't you though, Pyotr Ivanovich?
No more have I, sir.
Well, if you haven't 1,000, say 100 rubles then.
Haven't you got 100, Dobchinski? I have only got 40 in paper altogether.
I've no more than 25 rubles.
Have another good look then, Pyotr Ivanovich. You've a hole in your right pocket. I know, I dare say there's some drop through.
No, there's nothing in the hole. I'm positive.
Never mind, then I'll do with that. Very well, let it be 65 rubles. That's all right.
I was going to presume to ask you a favor with reference to a very delicate question.
Well, what is it?
My eldest son, will you condescend to observe, sir, was born a little before my marriage.
Hello.
And so, if you please, I would like him to be quite my, well, legitimate son now, sir. And to be called Dobchinski, like me, sir.
All right, that's quite possible. Let him be called so.
Oh, I wouldn't trouble you, sir, only it was a pity, considering all of his capabilities. Oh, the boy really gives me the greatest hopes. He can recite whole poems by heart, and if he finds a knife anywhere, he'll at once make a little toy droshky as neatly as a conjurer, sir. Here's Dobchinski will testify to that.
Yes, he has wonderful talents.
Very good. Very good. I'll do my best for him. I shall speak of it. I hope to... That shall be arranged. Yes. And haven't you got something to ask me for?
Yes. I have a very humble request to make.
Well then, what about?
I most respectfully beg of you, when you return to Petersburg to tell all the different grandees there, the senators and the admirals, that here, your serenity, I mean your excellency, in this very town lives Pyotr Ivanovich Dobchinski. Merely to say that Pyotr Ivanovich Dobchinski lives here.
Very good.
And if the emperor should get to hear of it, will you say to the emperor, too, may it please your imperial majesty, that is the town where Pyotr Ivanovich Dobchinski lives?
Certainly.
Oh, pardon us for troubling you.
Pardon us for troubling you so with our presence.
Oh, don't mention it. Don't mention it. It is a great pleasure to me.
Conducts them out.
Why, they take me for a government official. Fools they are! I must send an account of it to my very good friend of the Petersburg Tribune. Osip, bring me some ink and paper. Oh, what I wouldn't give for a good game of cards now that I'm loaded up with money. I have over 1,000 on me.
Enter Osip with inkstand and paper.
Oh, booby, you see how well they entertain me?
Khlestakov begins to write.
Yes, but I think it's time that we go.
What nonsense, why?
I mean it, this has gone on long enough. We don't know what may happen.
I'd like to stay on here a little longer.
We must go, Ivan Alexandrovich. You see, they've mistook you for somebody else. What if that somebody else should show up? Should they find out? Should your father...
My father?
Yes. Oh, Lord only knows what may become of us.
Very well, then. Only take this letter first, and then get an order for horses, and mind you see that they're good ones. I fancy my friend at the Petersburg Tribune will die of laughing.
I'll send it off, sir. You better be packing up so as not to lose time.
There, take it out.
The angry merchant voices are heard protesting outside the parlor.
What's that?
There are merchants at the door being held off by police officers.
Well, what do they want? Let them in, for God's sake.
Osip runs out.
What a peculiar town this is. I wonder what all the commotion is about.
Enter Osip and several merchants with baskets of food and wine.
Wait. Several
What?
merchants. It's literally just me.
Yes, I said what I said. Now hustle up.
Oh my God.
Now, my friends, what is it?
We implore your favor.
Well, say what you want.
Oh, do not ruin us, your lordship. We are grievously and unjustly oppressed.
By whom?
By the mayor of this town. It is impossible to describe the outrages he commits. He's a thieving scoundrel. He extorts from us at every turn, but not only must we pay him to let us work and live in peace, but he takes such liberties with our merchandise that we must all hide our finer goods when we hear he is about. He is a terror we just cannot.
Why, he's nothing more than a greedy brute.
That's true, but try to thwart him, and he will regime a whole soldiers in your house, and if we have the doors barred in his face, he says, I will not submit to your corporal punishment or torture, as that is forbidden by the law, but I will make your life a misery in other ways.
What a villain! He ought to be sent straight to Siberia for that.
Uh-huh. Yes, if you by a favor will only remove him, all will be well. We pay our respects to you with these loaves and wine.
I never accept bribes. But if you draw from me a loan of, say, 300 rubles, that would be quite another matter. I could accept that.
Then take it, our father, but what is 300? Better have 500, only help us.
Well, if you wish it, I'll take it.
Please, take the loaves and wine as well.
No, I never accept any kind of bribe.
Oh, high nobility, why won't you have it? Take it. It will come in very useful on the journey.
Very well, then, I accept your gifts. And I'll do my very best to aid in your cause.
The merchants take their leave.
Who's there? What now?
Marya wanders into the room.
Why are you so frightened, mademoiselle?
Oh, no, I was not frightened.
Well, pardon me, Sudarynya, if I say it is very agreeable to me to think that you've taken me for one who... Might I venture to inquire where you thought of going?
Oh, really, I was going nowhere.
Might I ask then why you were going nowhere?
I wondered if Mama were here.
No, but I should really like to know why you were going nowhere.
Oh, I'm disturbing you. You were engaged on important business.
Khlestakov says with lady-killing air.
About a glance from your eyes is better than any important business. You could never disturb me. That's quite impossible. On the contrary, you afford me the very greatest pleasure.
You compliment as they do in the capital.
A charming lady like you should only be so addressed. May I dare to be so happy as to offer you a chair? But no! You should have a throne, not a chair.
Indeed, I do not know. I ought to be going.
What a beautiful scarf you have.
Oh, you're making fun of me. You're only laughing at countrified people.
How I should long, mademoiselle, to be that scarf so as to clasp your lily neck.
I don't in the least understand what you mean. What singular weather we are having today. Look, and...
Your little lips are Sudarina with all the weather in the world.
You only say that because you... I was going to ask you to write some letters in my album as a souvenir. You know, a good many, of course.
For you, mademoiselle, I will do anything you wish. Say the word. What verses will you have?
Oh, anything, so long as they're good and new.
Verses, yes. I know a lot of them.
Well, will you tell me what you're going to write?
Why should I repeat them? I know them without that.
I'm so fond of poetry.
Yes, and I know a quantity of all sorts. Would you like this, say? Oh, thou mortal man, who vainly in thine anguish murmurest against God. Oh, there's others. I just can't remember them now. It's all of no account. Instead, I offer you my love, which ever since your first glance...
Moves his chair closer. Love moves her chair away.
Why do you move your chair away? We'd much better sit close to each other.
Marya moves her chair even further.
Why close when we are just as well apart?
Khlestakov moves his chair up.
Why, apart we're just as well close together.
But why do you do that?
He moves closer still.
Imagine me far away. It does make the heart grow fonder.
Oh, what was that? Did you hear that? I think someone is coming.
Oh, it was the pounding of my heart, which beats like a drum in anticipation of your succulent lips.
Enter Andreyevna!
Oh, no, this is too much. What rudeness!
Well,
oh, confound it!
What is the meaning of this behavior?
Mama, dear,
Come here, do you hear me? Be off, and don't you dare to show your face to me again! Excuse me, sir, but I confess I was so astonished at these proceedings that...
But she isn't bad looking either.
Khlestakov throws himself at her feet.
Sudarina, you see, I burn with love.
What's this? You on your knees? Oh, get up, sir, get up. The floor is quite dirty here.
No, on my knees, indeed, on my knees. I wish to know my fate, life or death.
But allow me, sir, I confess I don't quite understand the meaning of your words. If I'm not quite mistaken, you were just making a proposal to my daughter.
What, daughter? I am in love with you, madly, passionately. My life is in your hands.
To mention that I am, so to speak, I am married.
What matter? Love knows no difference. Your hand. I crave your hand.
Marya Antonovna suddenly runs in.
Mama, dear, Papa says, oh, what is this?
What? What do you mean by this flightiness? Bursting in all of a sudden like a cat in a fit. You act like a 3-year-old child. Why, really? You're 18, for God's sake.
Really, Mama, I didn't know.
Why can't you be more like your mother?
Suddenly, Khlestakov seizes Marya's hand, dropping to his knees.
Andreyevna, do not oppose our happiness, but give your blessing to a constant love.
Decide my fate, is it life or death? Now you see, Minx, now you see. It was all on your account, you baggage, that our guest was pleased to fall to his knees when suddenly you come blundering in, as if you have lost leave of your senses. It would have served you quite right if I had refused. You're not worthy of such good fortune.
I won't do it anymore, Mama. Really, I will never do so again.
I won't do it anymore, Your Excellency. I'll never do so again. Aye, what's the matter? That's just a pity you're complaining to Your Excellency. I swear on my honor, not half of what they said is true. They cheat and rob the peoples themselves. And for the record, the butcher's wife flogged herself. The whole town are liars.
But do you know the honor that Ivan Alexandrovich has conferred on us?
What?
He has asked for our daughter's hand.
What?
You're mad, Matushka. Don't be offended, Your Excellency, but she's a little wrong in the head. She takes after her mother.
But I do really ask for her hand. I'm deeply in love.
I can't believe it, Your Excellency.
Not even when he tells you so?
I'm not joking. I'm madly in love with her.
I can't believe it. I'm not worthy of the honor.
If you refuse me Marya Antonovna's hand, the devil knows what I'm not ready for.
I can't believe you. You are pleased to be jesting, Your Excellency.
Oh, what a blockhead you are, to be sure. How many times are you to be told?
No, it's incredible.
Give me your consent. Give me your consent. I'm a desperate man, capable of anything. If I should blow my brains out, you will be held responsible.
My God, I am innocent, body and soul. Don't take offense, I beg. Please do what your honor sees fit. Oh, my head is in such a whirl now. Can't believe what's going on. I've become a regular tomfool as I never was before.
There, now give them your blessing.
May the Lord bless you, but I am innocent of it.
Khlestakov moves toward Marya as if possessed. He stares deeply into her eyes, and Marya nods her head in anticipation of what must come next. He grabs her by the shoulders and pulls her towards him with desperate conviction. He presses his lips to hers in a moment that can only be described as... Are you kidding me? Are we really doing this?
Please, continue.
Okay. In a moment that can only be described as blissful ecstasy.
The devil? They're really... Oh, so they are. They're kissing each other, and I mean, really kissing each other. I'd be disturbed if I weren't so damn happy. Of course you can have my blessing, but we are truly the blessed ones, Anna.
Enter Osip!
The horses are ready.
All right, I'll come directly.
Are you going away?
Yes, I have to leave. So at a moment's notice, and I'll only be gone for a day to see my uncle. Yes, he's a wealthy old boy. And I'll be back again tomorrow.
We won't venture to detain you, then we'll only hope for your safe return.
Oh, thank you. I'll come back directly. Goodbye, my love. No, I can't bear to say it. Farewell, my darling.
Marya's hand.
Will you want anything for your journey? You were good enough, I think, to say that you were short of funds.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Well, all the same, since you are so kind.
How much do you want?
Well, you've given me 400... 200, if you would give me the same amount again.
You shall have it at once. 400... 200 rubles.
Oh, goodbye, Antonovich. I am very grateful for your hospitality. I've never been so well treated as here. Goodbye, Andreyevna. Goodbye, Marya Antonovna, my darling.
Marya, as if he'll never see her again.
No!
Okay, that's enough. Stop.
Goodbye, Marya Antonovna, angel of my soul.
How long are we to wait for your return?
Oh, I'll be back before you know I'm gone. Farewell. Farewell.
Act 5.
Well, Anna Andreyevna, you were a simple town mayor's wife, and now see who you hooked for a son-in-law. Life is full of surprises, is it not?
Not at all. I knew it ages ago. It's you that's taken by surprise. You're only a commonplace person, and I've never met people of quality.
I'm one of the top quality myself. What a fine pair we are, in fact. From now on, we'll only host the finest people in Russia at our St. Petersburg estate. Oh, when I'm promoted, I'll make a fine general.
I should say so. Beautifully.
Oh, confound it. It's splendid being general. And just you wait until I get my retribution on those vile merchants. Complain of me, will they? Little do they know the high official they were complaining to was my very own son-in-law.
Enter! And this is the last time I'm gonna say it. Almost Fyodorovich, the judge.
Luka Lukich Klopov, the school superintendent, and Artemi Philippovich Zemlinika, the charity commissioner.
Are we to believe the report, Anton Antonovich? Has an extraordinary piece of good fortune befallen you?
I have the honor to congratulate you on your extraordinary good fortune. I was heartily pleased when I heard of it.
He kisses Anna's hand.
Mwah.
Kisses Marya's.
Mwah.
I have the honor.
May the Lord grant long life to you and the bridal pair, and bless you with grandchildren and great-grandchildren and many descendants to succeed you. Anna Andreyevna, Marya Antonovna,
Enter in several visitors with overcoats, hats, and in full gala dress in elegant clothing. First, Radakovsky comes in with a long mustache and a top hat. He shakes Anna's hand and then Marya's, saying,
Anna Andreyevna, Marya Antonovna, so lovely it is to see you. May God bless your souls.
Next, Korobkin comes in with a chin beard and a long overcoat. He shakes Anna's hand and then Marya's, saying,
Hold on, I don't have an overcoat.
There's always something with this kid. Just go!
Mrs. Anna Andreyevna, how lovely it is to see you. Oh, and Miss Marya Antonovna, what a pleasure it is to be in your company as well.
Next, enter Babchinski and Dobchinski, eagerly jostling each other.
I have the honor to congratulate you.
Anton Antonovich, I have the honor to congratulate you.
On the happy occurrence.
Anna Andreyevna.
Anna Andreyevna.
They approach at the same moment and... again.
Oh, Marya Antonovna.
Marya Antonovna.
I have the honor to congratulate you. May you enjoy the greatest happiness and walk about in cloths of gold and eat all sorts of choicely flavored soups and always
I have the honor to congratulate you. May God grant you wealth of every kind and ducats and a baby boy as tiny as this, small enough to sit in the palm of your hand, and may the little darling cry all the time. Wah, wah, wah.
Now tell us, please, Anton Antonovich, how it all came about. Give us the whole history of it.
Well, it is an extraordinary story. He condescended to make the proposal himself in person, and he said,
Anna Andreyevna, you have simply made a conquest of me. Believe me, Anna Andreyevna, he said, I don't value my life at a kopeck. It is only on account of your rare and charming qualities that I...
Oh, Mama. Really, that's what he said to me.
Be quiet. Don't you meddle with what doesn't concern you. I love your distraction, Anna Andreyevna, he said. And such were his flattering words, and when I began to say, we dare not hope for so high an honor, down he went on his knees in the most aristocratic fashion. Anna Andreyevna, he exclaimed, don't make me the most miserable of men. Consent to respond to my passion, or with death I shall cut short my existence.
But of course, Mama, he meant that for me.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. He meant it for you. I wasn't arguing that at all.
and how he frightened us too. He said he would blow his brains out. I'll shoot myself. I'll shoot myself. He cried.
Good gracious, you don't
with
say
a cigar.
Humble.
Oh, we intend to live in Petersburg now. Here there's such an air, I must say, it's really too rustic. I find it excessively disagreeable. My husband, too. He will get general's rank there.
And may God grant it!
With man it is impossible, but with God all things are possible.
A great voyage befits a great ship.
Your public services deserve the honor. When you are made a general, Anton Antonovich, don't forget us.
Next year I'm going to take my son to the capital to serve his country. Please be so kind as to take him under your protection. Be a father to the little orphan.
Oh, I'm quite ready on my part, quite ready to help him.
Enter the postmaster, out of breath, with an opened letter in her hand.
My friends, I have a disturbing piece of news.
What?
What is it?
There is no Inspector General.
What do you mean?
This letter here is the proof of it.
What letter, you ninny?
Why, from a letter he wrote himself. The envelope came to my attention and I assumed he'd found something wrong with the postal department and was reporting it to the authorities, and so I opened it.
How dare you?
I don't know why. A supernatural force impelled me. I'd already ordered a courier to take it by express, but such a feeling of curiosity overwhelmed me as I'd never known before. And so I broke the sealing wax. After I'd done it, my veins were on fire. And then they froze. By God, they froze! My hands shook and everything whirled!
And so you dared to open the letter of so powerful a personage?
That's the joke of it! He's neither a personage nor powerful!
What is he then, according to you?
Oh, neither the one nor the other. The devil knows what he is.
What do you mean? How dare you call him neither one, nor the other, nor the devil knows what? I'll put you under arrest.
Who, you?
Yes, I will.
Oh, pooh! That's beyond your power.
Are you aware that he is going to marry my daughter? That I will become a grandee? That I will have the power to send you to Siberia?
Anton Antonovich, Siberia, that's a long ways off. But I had better read you the letter.
Yes, read it.
Yes,
Please read it.
Read it now,
Read it,
please.
please.
Yes, I hasten to let you know, my dear Tripichkin, all about my adventures. On the way, an infantry captain cleared me out completely, so that the innkeeper wanted to send me to jail. When, all of a sudden, owing to my Petersburg get-up and appearance, the whole town took me for the Inspector General. So now I'm living at the mayor's. I do just as I please. I flirt madly with his wife and daughter. The officials all lend me as much money as I ever please. They're an awful set of originals. You would die of laughing if you saw them. First and foremost, there's the mayor. He's as stupid as a mule.
Impossible. It can't be there.
Read it yourself.
Stupid as a mule. No, it can't be. You've written it yourself.
How could I have written it?
Read!
Get on! The mayor, he's as stupid as a mule.
Oh, devil, was it necessary to repeat that part?
As a mule. The postmaster, too, is a good fellow. Oh, he says something quite uncomplimentary about me, too.
Oh, no, read it out.
Oh, but what's the good?
No, confound it. If you read any of it, you read all of it.
Allow me, I'll have a try. Open it. Oh, the postmaster is a drunken rascal.
The young blowhard ought to be flogged, that's all.
Oh, the charity commissioner is a...
But what are you stopping for?
It's badly written. However, it's clearly something insulting.
Oh, give it to me. My eyes are better, I fancy.
Oh, no, we can leave that part out. Further on, it's plain enough.
But allow me, I can read.
Why, so can I. Further on, I tell you, it's quite easy to make out.
No! Read it all. It was all read before.
Give it up, Artemi.
Artemi.
Let
Give
him
it
read
up.
the letter.
Certainly. There. That's where you begin.
Read it. Read it through. What nonsense. Read it all.
The charity commissioner, Zemlyanika, is a regular pig in a skull cap.
That's supposed to be a joke. That's supposed to be witty. It's a pig in a skull cap. Whoever saw a pig in a skull
The school director reeks of onions.
Oh God! And an onion has never crossed my lips!
Thank goodness there's nothing, at any rate, about me.
The judge.
Oh, what the devil's the good in reading all this nonsense? Enough!
No, go on with it.
No, read it through.
The judge, Lyapkin Tyapkin, is in the utmost degree moved to... That must be a French word.
But the devil knows what the meaning of it is. It's bad enough if it's only swindler, but it may be a good deal worse.
But after all, the people are hospitable and well-meaning. Farewell, my dear Tripichkin. I myself should like to follow your example and take up literature. It's a bore, my friend, to live as I do. One certainly wants food for the mind. One must, I see, have some elevated pursuit. Write to me at the village of Podkalatovka, Saratov government.
He's as good as cut my throat. I'm crushed! Catch him! We must catch him!
How can we catch him? Why, is it on purpose? I told the manager to give him an order for horses in advance.
Besides, sirs, confound it, he has borrowed 300 rubles of me.
And I
And
gave him
300 of me, too.
And I gave him...
Oh, and 300 of me as well.
And I gave him...
Dobchinski and I, sirs, gave him 65, sirs, in banknotes.
How was it, comrades, that we came to make such a mistake?
I simply can't understand it. 30 years have I been in this service, and not a tradesman or serviceman could cheat me. Rogues after rogues have I overreached, scoundrels and rascals that were ready to rob the whole universe, only to be made a fool of by this charlatan.
But it can't be so, Antosha. He's engaged to Mashenka.
Engaged? There is no engagement. Can't you see how he's made an ass of me? What a lack brain I've become. And now he's peddling my story all over the countryside, and I'll be reduced to a buffoon in some quill pusher's play. It's as if innumerable strangers were watching me from afar, laughing at my ruin, delighting in my woe, watching my every move. Oh, God! Who was it that first let out that he was the inspector? Answer me!
I have no idea. It all happened in such a way that I couldn't tell you if you were to kill me. Our wits were befogged. It was the devil's doing.
Who started the idea? Why, there they are, those enterprising young bucks.
Of course it was you. You gossiping busybodies, you damnable liars!
I wish you had gone to the devil with your inspector and your stories!
He's run about the town and meddle with everybody, you confounded chatterboxes, you tittle-tattling scandal-mongers, you short-tailed jackdaws!
You confounded bunglers!
You dirty nightcaps!
You pot-bellied dribblers!
It was Dobchinski!
What?
Oh, and it all turned to chaos.
I cannot
You will have ice.
Deep chance I've had at living up my dreams.
Where? Mishka? Where the devil have you been?
The Inspector General sent by Imperial Command has arrived and demands your attendance at once. Line up in military order. No.